everybody, welcome back. Another Saturday night in Appalachia. Sitting here, not going to have a fire tonight because it's getting ready to rain. So I thought I'd do a quick little video. I wanted to conclude my thoughts on the rite of passage, the concept of the rite of passage. I didn't do any real research into it or anything. I know that some rites of passage consist of a series of excuse me, basically like phases or challenges, things that have to be overcome. Could be anything like going out into nature by yourself and having to survive for a certain amount of time. But for those of us in our modern society, in this modern world, once again, I think we can simplify some things. And so what I wanted to talk about today was, well, first off, I was scanning a very good website called The Art of Manliness. Brett McKay has been doing this website for a very long time. He's got some wonderful stuff on there. And I did a quick search just a little while ago on the phrase rite of passage, R-I-T-E. And a bunch of things came up, including some interviews with a guy named William Ayot, who's in England and has been working with men for a very long time, 20 or 30 years at least. I've looked at his website, but I did listen to this one interview with him a few months ago, and he's really good. But actually, Brett had a whole series of podcasts with different people talking about rites of passage. So if you want to go there, that would be, I'll put a link in the description below. It's Art of Manliness. And one of the things that goes along with this topic of rite of passage is the concept of rituals. And I had a conversation about a year ago with a friend of mine about how I was using rituals in my daily life, and that certain aspects of my life had become a series of rituals. And it can be anything as simple as, getting up in the morning at the same time, again, making the bed, doing a 5 to 15 minute meditation in the morning. If you've got a family, it could be something that you do with your kids. Something simple could be 5 minutes with your kids in the morning. Anything like that becomes a ritual, and that child will remember it for the rest of their life. I didn't have that growing up. Our life was just a free-for-all, basically. The ritual was mom got up in the morning and went to work, and we had to take care of ourselves. And so now I have a set of rituals I do in the morning besides making the bed. But I do say a prayer to the four directions. I go south, west, north, east, earth, sky, and something I learned from Alberto Vialdo. I do that every morning, and I do my Qigong exercises every morning, which can take about 40-45 minutes. For some people, I know Mark Sisson, who does the Primal Kitchen stuff, his morning rituals are coffee and crossword puzzles. And he does it every morning. And, it used to be I had the ritual of going to the gym every night after work. But we can turn some of these into, it's probably more, I would think, important to turn these into something more or less sacred, such as the blessing of the four directions, or a simple meditation, or a prayer with your children, something a little more spiritual than a crossword puzzle. No offense, Mark, but you know what I mean. And just to express gratitude to God, to Source, Divine Spirit, whatever you want to call it, for getting out of bed that day and having the strength and the energy to go serve the world for one more day, because that's all we got, you know. And then, so this expression of gratitude can be a ritual every day. And pretty soon these things start to really become embodied, is the term. It becomes part of us, right? I know with my opening the four directions every day is just something that I do. And you know, and my qigong routine is just something that I do, and that's all before I eat breakfast. So that my life in some ways has become highly ritualized, especially in the mornings. I'm trying to have the ritual of, in the evenings, of reading for a little while. And I just read a really good book called The Seeker of Nothing. It's a fictional tale, and kind of along the lines of The Alchemist. So it has a lot of good messages in it, but yet it's not dry. It's a very good story, very well done, very short. It's a short book, can be read really quickly. The Seeker of Nothing. Thoroughly enjoyed it, but that's another one of my rituals that I try to do now. Instead of just flipping on the television, and I don't have cable TV, so most of my television is YouTube. But to just spend 15 or 20 minutes reading. Of course, they are mostly e-books these days. Because then I don't have to carry them around or do something with them. But you know, we have to walk in both worlds. We can walk in the old world reading, and we can walk in the new world reading e-books. That's what I call it, walking in both worlds. It works for me, and it might work for you, and maybe you have your own ideas. But I think it's important to have a little bit of ritual in your day. It could be just getting up every hour from a desk and taking a 5-minute walk. It could be, you know, just closing your eyes and doing some breath work for 5 minutes. You know, when you're feeling overwhelmed, depending on what your life is doing. But especially if we have an office job, which I do now, sometimes it's just good to just push back, close your eyes, and just breathe for 5 minutes. Go for a walk. One of my rituals is to go for a walk outside, especially when the sun's shining. I go for a walk outside a couple times a day just to breathe some air and get the sun on my body. So those are just some of the thoughts. I'm going to close this series on Rite of Passage with those. I don't have to. There's too many people doing a lot of really good work. I'm not going to dive into it in a whole lot of detail. But it's not my purpose here. My purpose is to just discuss and introduce and share what it's done for me. One of the rituals I gave up this 10 days ago, I mentioned it last week, was coffee. So it's been about 10 days now, 9 days, and boy, do I feel better. Much more relaxed, sleeping better, falling asleep better, but just calmer, just a whole lot calmer, and I like it. It was probably tough for a couple of days, just because of the habit. I would make these little espressos, and I would make and then I would make another one, and I'd do some qigong, and then I'd go make another one, and then I'd do some more qigong, go make another one, and pretty soon I've got 4 or 5 of these things in me. And even though the coffee was weak, I'd make them weak, and the coffee's weak, very dark roast, but it got to me. I didn't shake, but I just wasn't as calm as I wanted to be, and I feel a lot calmer now. So my three big things are that I love but are not good for me are coffee, espressos, red wine, and chocolate, dark chocolate. And haven't had any dark chocolate in quite a while. I haven't had red wine in quite a while either. And that's a good thing. So I'm just letting my body be and just enjoying who I am, where I am in this moment. And every day, just get up and be thankful for what we have right here. Yeah. Because we don't know how long it's going to last. And a few months ago, I was not feeling well. 3 months ago or so, I was scared. And one of the things I have incorporated in is, as part of my ritual, is healing the magnetic field, this intention of healing my magnetic field. And this was brought on by a friend of mine who introduced me to a book called Know Your Magnetic Field, which I read. The timing was perfect because I needed it. And so I do some things. One of the Qigong things after getting the healing hands going, is to just make circles right around the heart space. Okay, so the heart's coming out in a cone like this, the chakra. The energy's coming out from the heart, and you're just working with that energy. And then after a while, you do this for a little while. It doesn't take very long. Just do it every day. And then bringing it in tighter, tighter, tighter like this till you got a ball of energy. And just spread that ball of energy around your body like this and up the inside of the legs. And do that a couple times, and then just let that energy right in your crown. And just with the intention of strengthening and healing the magnetic field. And it's been working. I feel a lot better than I did 3 months ago. I was scared. Yeah, I was really scared. But couldn't go to a doctor. It's either going to be prescriptions or they're going to want to cut me open. And I went, nope, it's not going to happen. So why bother? We are we are a self-healing mechanism, this body. All we got to do is set our intention, feed it good food, steak and eggs. I just finished mine. And it's another ritual, is my steak and eggs every afternoon, early dinner. And it's working. So find your little rituals, create them, and do them every day. Just a little bit every day. We just want to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. All right? So that's enough of that. Rain's going to be here in a little while. It's very peaceful right now here in Appalachia. Nice breeze blowing. Everything's green. And see you next week.